All right,
Hello.
that's it, man. We're live, dude. It's so weird to get used to like the whole because it just all it says in the little corner says live and it's in red, but
Yeah,
nothing else changes on the screen. So it's
yeah.
just it's so funny, dude.
Well, welcome to Cinema Rewind episode 2.
That's right, man. That's
All
right.
right.
And I am the host of Face the Movies GC,
And I'm
and
Lee
then
from Cinema Whiplash.
there he
And
is.
today we are, as the thumbnail shows, we're talking about Snowpiercer.
Even though I got the what looks like a bootleg copy, but it's the
Nah, it looks the same. It's got the blue.
dude, you always have the cool slips and cases
Well,
and
I mean, like
everything.
like in the last episode, I mean, I had the slip for John Carter, but you had the best edition of Psychic. So I mean,
But
it equals out.
you know,
It averages out.
I was surprised, man, because it's like every time I look at my collection and look at yours, you always got like sick collection. Like I don't want to use the word envy because that's bad, but I'm more of a like I appreciate your collection, man. It's so well curated and taken care of and pristine, and yeah, dude, it's
Well, yeah, I
awesome.
mean, I've been buying movies since I was 8 years old, so it's they've been around for a while, some of them.
Dude, I've
But
always appreciated that, man. I always appreciated since I've known you for so long that like how you take care of your stuff. Like you're like me in the same way. And you take care of like books, your movies, and it's awesome, man, because you never have to worry about anything getting damaged or going bad, just because of like how well you take care of it. Especially like I know for a fact there's not a single movie there that's gonna have like finger like oil smudges on it or anything like that.
well, as long as I haven't, if I mean, sometimes when every once in a while, if I buy a used or something, sometimes you'll get a few scratches here and there with them. But for the
Yeah.
most part, like we've talked about before, uh, like you've been able to fortunately go to all these thrift shops and things like that, bookstores where you've been able to buy them used at a really good price. And then sometimes you get lucky with the slips, or sometimes like yeah, but they come with a little scratches. In my area, as you know, there really isn't too much of that, so I've always had to buy my movies pretty much new. So I try to keep them in the best shape possible. For sure, yeah. I don't want to. If I have to rebuy a movie, it's because a new edition came out or 4K, and I really, really
Yeah.
want it, so I'll do it. But if not, it's like I remember when I was a kid, I used to buy movies on VHS, and I was like, I own this movie for life. Like I never have to buy this movie again. And then freaking DVDs came out, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna this. I'll never have to buy this movie again. And then Blu-rays came out, etc., etc.
Dude,
But
it's a never ending thing, man, collecting. And it's true, it's like you said, like you think it's like that's it. This is a peak. Well, you know what? I think this time around, I think we're actually right, man. I mean, there's no announcement or technology coming near like 4K. I mean, could it be that 4K is where it ends and that's it and like it stays at 4K? Because I mean, how much more perfect does it has to be, you know?
I mean, dude, I've had that mental thought since I was a kid, and it always changes. I've given up thinking that this is the final one, so I'm gonna say 8K's coming. Who knows? Like, and I mean, how much better can it look? I totally agree because a lot of these movies you can't really upscale them more than 4K. I mean, I guess you can, but you're not gonna see a big difference to the human eye. Like, there's just as much as we can do. Plus,
Yeah.
the reason that 4K it works well is because screens have gotten so big, and you could buy a big screen at your house and stuff nowadays. Um, but it's like you'd have to have like a freaking movie theater in your house to like really need 8K and stuff like that. So we'll see. We'll see. For now, I'm happy. I think the Blu-rays look really great still on the 4K TVs. The upscales are really nice. I don't see a reason to rebuy everything in 4K. I think there's certain movies if you really love them,
Yeah.
and you want to just, or some of them really do look not that great. Like I've spoken to you, like the Scream trilogy on Blu-ray looked terrible, very washed out. So those 4Ks are really great. The movies finally look like they should. But a lot of the times the 4Ks came out when you bought the movie brand new, and it's like there's really no new for modern movies, certain movies. So yeah, I mean, hopefully it stops there, and between freaking streaming taking over, and I'm sure streaming will go to 8K eventually. But as far as physical media, I think 4K is as good as it
No,
gets. Excuse me.
no, I agree with you, man. And I mean, I'm appreciative that like you stopped me from getting the Scream like movies in four. I mean, not 4K in Blu-ray because I would have sucked so bad. to
Yeah,
buy them and all that, and then just kind of I mean, I almost bought the trilogy. Like I had told you, I found them at a thrift store. For everything it was like 50 cents at that point for the first three on DVD, and I didn't jump on it because two of them had a few scratches, and I know with DVDs they're not like Blu-ray or 4K that they can still kind of manage. DVDs are very like you get a few scratches or a deep one and
yeah, yeah.
kind of
There's that
sucks.
when you feel on a disc of a Blu-ray and a 4K, they have this smoothness to it, and it seems to have like a protector layer to it. I don't know too much about the technology to really
Yeah.
speak on it, but for sure DVDs were more like CDs, and they would get scratched and they wouldn't last as long as far as the quality. But the Blu-rays and the 4Ks have that extra coating that it's like you'll see a bunch of even like light scratches or for sure fingerprints and stuff. You could take them out. A lot of the times on Blu-rays, I mean on DVDs, you would have a fingerprint, but then you would try to clean it with your shirt or something, and end up leaving scratches, little light scratches and stuff like that. And
Dude,
those
that sucks.
that's for the people that buy movies. Kind of remember those things. And everybody else is like, man, I just stream my movies. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
I know. They're missing out, man. They're missing out. But
Yeah,
dude,
it is what it is nowadays. Yeah,
speaking going back to earlier when you were talking about uh like good qual like some Blu-rays like look fantastic and stuff. I mean, Snowpiercer. Like
yeah,
I'm so glad, man, that you told me about how good the Blu-ray was because I had the 4K pre-ordered, the Steelbook, then super I mean, they did a fantastic job with it. And when you told me about the Blu-ray being in such great condition, literally, I think it was the next day or a day later, I found it at that little bookstore that I would go to for like 250, and I mean, I immediately canceled my pre-order and I was like, you know what? Like this guy, it's gonna be good enough. And after watching it, like, dude, I couldn't agree more, man. Like I honestly, I mean, if you don't have this movie in Blu-ray, it's definitely like might as well buy the 4K with the whole
yeah,
steelbook.
yeah.
But I mean, if you're able to find it on Blu-ray, this is way more than like it's more than just good enough. Like it's perfect.
Yeah, it's a modern movie. It's a movie from 2013, and it looks good already. Like I don't know, I kind of get this feeling. I might be way off on this, but I get this feeling that lately, just lately, when you buy a combo of 4K and Blu-ray, I'll pop in the Blu-ray after to scan through it, and the movie does look worse, or just different color, or the coloring is not as good. Which I know that's what 4K is all about, but I feel like before 4K got bigger, the Blu-rays quality were much better. I feel like the Blu-ray quality has gone down a little bit, and I think it's in order maybe to get people to buy 4K. But either way, yeah. Now this movie, it looks great, man, and I'm happy with it. And I bought it around the time it came out, and we're talking about it today. We watched it yesterday, both of us. And dude, I gotta say, I had not seen this movie, and I've owned it, but I so it came out in 2013. I probably saw it in 2013. Maybe I saw it once the year after when I bought it, and then I haven't seen it since, dude. So watching it last night for me, after maybe not seeing it for about 8, 9 years, man, I was blown away. Like I really, really like this movie. Like,
Dude,
you know,
I wish they would have done like a sequel or something just to kind of show them out in the world, man, because like that ending, like
yeah.
it's so freaking good. But I
Well, I
mean,
mean, they made a TV show.
I never watched it. You know what? Now that
Well, no, no, me either, yeah.
yeah,
But they
I
made the
heard.
TV show on it was on AMC, and it lasted for about I think like 4 seasons or something like that. But even though I love the movie, I wasn't too interested in seeing the TV show. If they would have made a sequel to the movie, for sure I would have watched it. But sometimes when they make TV shows out of movies, I'm very iffy, 50-50. Sometimes they are pretty good though.
Yeah, that's true. Wait, hold on one second, dude. Hold on one second. I'm just
All
gonna
right,
slide out for 1 sec.
I'll keep talking to everybody. So, for those of you who didn't know, this movie is actually based on a French graphic novel. So it does come from the different source material, and it's directed by Bong Joon Ho, which Bong Joon Ho directed Parasite, which is one of my favorite movies of all time at this point. I love that movie so much, and he also directed
Fantastic movie, by the way. Thank you once again. I think I bring this up in
yeah,
every other video. How Lee gifted me
no,
Parasite, and
no worries. I think the gift more than giving you the movie was you finally seeing it, because I really wanted you to
dude,
see it because
yeah.
it's such a great movie.
It was so good. I wanted to watch it the next day. Like, and if Bearded Film Guy's watching this, like, dude, that movie's awesome. I don't care what you say, even though I love your taste in film, but
He
you're
didn't like
wrong
Parasite.
about. No, I think I remember him mentioning that he liked it, but it wasn't like. At least at least I hope I'm not confusing him with maybe somebody else said it, but I could have swore it was him. But
Yeah, no, I mean, look, movies are subjective. Like different people like different things, and I respect that.
oh,
For me,
absolutely, yeah.
the movie was amazing, dude. I saw it. I was lucky enough to. I saw the hype it was getting with the Oscar nominations, and I went to go see it in the theaters. Really, my only regret is that this past December they re-released it for a few showtimes on IMAX, and I didn't have a chance to go see it because I really wanted. Because when I saw it in the theater, it was just a regular screen. It was still nice. It looked great, but I would have loved to see it in IMAX, man. But that movie, and the thing about this director that he tends to do a lot, he does it in Snowpiercer and in Parasite, is that it's a lot about class. It's about like the
Yeah.
poor lifestyle versus what the rich are doing and what the poor go through, and he really captures that really well, man. This is actually his first English language movie. I know we got Mickey 17 in theaters right now, and he directed it, but this was Snowpiercer was his first movie that he directed with in the English language, and it stars Chris Evans as the main the
The
main character.
protagonist, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. And the antagonist, Ed Harris, that which we really don't get to see him till the third act. Really, it's like he's in the movie. He actually turns out to be in the movie a good amount of time because he comes out a lot in the third act. But really, the first two acts, he doesn't. You don't know who the guy in the engine is while you're watching it.
Yeah. No, I mean Ed Harris can't do no wrong, man. And Tilda Swinton,
Oh
my
man.
God, man, her performance, dude, like when she's giving that whole speech while that guy's arm
Oh
is
yeah, freezing.
yeah, it's stuck out the train. And whoever doesn't I guess if it's confused about the scene or whatnot. So pretty much there's this guy in the back end of the train that like one of the people that I guess like the poor, the workers in the back, he throws a shoe at one of the employees. And I guess for his punishment, what they do is they stick his arm through a hole on the side of the train for what was it, 10 minutes, right? I think it was
Yeah,
10
10
minutes.
minutes. Yeah.
And it's so cold outside that within those 10 minutes, his arm is frozen, like completely frozen. And the actress, Tilda, she's giving this whole speech for 10 minutes, and it's just hilarious. I mean, her
Yeah,
character was
she
probably
puts the
one of the
shoe on
best.
his. Well, he's freezing his hand outside. Like she
Yeah,
puts the shoe on his head, and he's going through this agonizing pain, and she's giving like, "Oh no, we have one more time to do this and that." And her performance is excellent. She's a great actress.
dude,
She's been in a
fantastic.
ton of movies. The movie that pops up right away of her was she was in Benjamin Button, but she's been in a ton of movies,
Was
and
she?
she was in
Oh,
Constantine too,
I was about
in
to
the
say that.
Constantine.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
She was like the angel. She was Gabriel.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
She's an incredible actress. I mean, she really stands out in this movie a lot. We also have William Hurt, which is the older guy that's in the poor section with Chris Evans, like his
yeah,
mentor.
yeah.
Great actor. I mean, I've seen him in a bunch of stuff. I know he was in the Harry Potter movies a little bit. And then his I guess best friend is this actor. Let me
Tom
see. It's
Holland.
a no Jamie Bell.
Dude, no, dude. Every time I see that guy, I swear. I mean, even in the movie, like, because if I'm not mistaken, wasn't he in Jumper as well with Aiden Christensen?
Yeah,
I
I think so. I know
yeah,
he was definitely in that new Fantastic Four movie that everybody hated, the 2015 one.
yeah. Except me, I guess. Like
Yeah, you liked it.
I
Hey,
have it,
somebody liked it. It's all
dude.
right.
I thought it was cool, man. Like, you know what? I was like, I don't know. I felt like it didn't. I mean, I know this is for another video, but like, I enjoyed it, man. But so this guy, Jamie, like, dude, I swear, I feel like some of these actors are cloned. Because, dude, tell me that he doesn't look like Tom Holland. And it's just they even have
God.
accents and stuff. Like I know I don't remember in the movie if he had one, but like yeah, they both in real life have accents and it's
Yeah, they're
just
both from the UK for sure. Yeah.
yeah, and it's like it's almost like Jamie Bell's like his older brother or something. But he could have even played. I'm pretty sure like for the new generation he could play Spider-Man, and they just wouldn't tell the difference. They would be like, oh well, he looks a little taller, but
Yeah, I mean, he kind of fell off a little bit, but he when I saw him in this movie, I'm like, oh yeah, that guy. Yeah, like, I know him from a few
yeah.
movies. I definitely blanking on other stuff he's done, but he was definitely around that time, making a good amount of movies, and he's a pretty good actor. And the other guy that's like, I'm gonna probably slaughter his name, is Sung Kang Ho, the the Korean guy in there with his daughter. They keep wanting to get the stuff to sniff the drugs.
Yeah.
Man, he's incredible, and the director Bong Joon Ho, he puts him in like most of his movies. You know,
Oh,
this guy.
he was a fantastic actor. Oh, dude, we got Born to Be Rad. What's up, brother? How's it going, man?
What's up, man?
Dude, thank you for joining the live. We appreciate the support, man.
Yeah, man. Feel free to join in on the chat. And we were just talking about the Asian actor, and he's a really good actor, dude. You know, the only movie I'm missing of watching from this director is Memories of Murder, and I've heard really good things about it. And I gotta watch it, man. The only place I can find it right now to watch is on Tubi, so I might have to watch it with commercials. But I definitely want to check it out soon. I've heard really good things about it. But did you ever see the one that he made on Netflix? I think it's called Okja or something like that. It's with Jake Gyllenhaal.
Oh, Jake
It's like
Gyllenhaal.
this. It's about this girl that has like this big like pig looking thing. It's like a fictional animal, and
Did
I
it?
only saw it once. And it was okay. It wasn't one of his standout movies. It was pretty good, but
Isn't it a Criterion?
did they? You know what?
I feel like it's a white. It looks kind of like the creature from Neverending Story, like on the cover.
Well, he's kind of like a. He looks more like a pig mixed with
Unless I'm thinking of something
not a
else.
rhino, but I don't know. It's obviously like it's an animal that doesn't exist. But I can't speak too much of the movie because I saw it when it first came out on Netflix and I never saw it again. But I want to rewatch that one again because this guy is such a great filmmaker. His filmography is incredible, and I really like The Host too, which I know you've seen that one, right? The Host.
No, dude. So that's the one we were talking about the other day that I
Oh,
haven't
that you
seen it
have it,
yet.
but you haven't seen it, right? Right.
Dude, I found it for I think it was like $1 or something, the Blu-ray. But when I saw the director, I mean, every time I see his name, just literally it's like Parasite pops up. And after
Yeah.
seeing that movie, I mean, and it's funny because I didn't know at the time of watching Snowpiercer that he directed it. And even up until not too long ago, I think when we were talking, I was like, wait a minute, he directed this. No wonder, like so far, I mean, anything I've seen of his, like it's been fantastic. So obviously, I picked up that Blu-ray for the cost of almost nothing, and I was like, man, it's great to add to the collection. I got like 3 of his movies that I'm aware of in my collection, unless I have anything else. But
I mean, I only
yeah.
have this one and Parasite, and I I know it's blasphemy, but I do have The Host, but I bought it on digital on Apple TV. So,
Damn it, that's
uh,
it. We're
hey,
ending the live.
sometimes you got to go with the digital. They're $5 sometimes. I'm like, hey, for now. And sometimes it does come with the special features too and stuff. I mean, but for the most part, but I would like to eventually get the physical meat copy of it, and then but Okja, if it has a Criterion, that's pretty awesome, dude. I would definitely check it out because it's pretty rare for Netflix movies to get those. I know The Irishman got it, and
Yeah,
a couple of movies from Netflix have gotten them, but sometimes I'm like, because I'm a big David Fincher fan, and I hate the fact that he's making movies for Netflix now. Not because of my dislike of Netflix, it's just because his movies don't come out on physical media now. His last 2 movies are digital only, and that's unfortunate, man. 'Cause I want to have all his movies. I have them all except for those two. So that's the bad part about the streaming stuff too.
no, it is, man. And unfortunately, that's the thing with streaming, which I wouldn't have too much of a problem if it wasn't for the like the tiers or of like paying, like forcing commercials now on people, but mainly it's the gatekeeping. Like I'm all for streaming if you're also going to allow people to buy the physical copy, but to force people to just be on a subscription and
Yeah,
not give them a chance to have a physical copy.
and
Like
the
in the end of
creators too.
yeah, man, because
The
I know that
creators, like you got Hush recently, right? And Hush
yeah,
was a movie that for a long time people were complaining that not only was it a Netflix only movie, but then Netflix took it out. And like,
yeah.
okay, so where do I watch this now if you like it, right? And finally the director fought for it, Mike Flanagan, and he was able to get Shout Factory involved, and they released it on Blu-ray and 4K, which is awesome. I still haven't gotten a chance to get it, but I want to get it. I like that movie a lot. And
Yeah.
I'm glad that they did that, but unfortunately, they're not doing it with every movie. I wish David Fincher would fight a little more for that too. It doesn't seem like he cares, I guess, but
Yeah.
um,
He's
it's
getting paid,
unfortunate.
so
Yeah, but he's such a prolific friggin' filmmaker, and he's more like a Spielberg or a Tarantino, where you would think he would want his stuff on physical media. But I guess he's not
yeah.
as much. It's like Quentin Tarantino. I don't think would ever make a movie for streaming. He loves the theatrical experience for sure.
Oh, absolutely, man. I mean, that's the thing too. Like, you have certain directors that are just gonna fight tooth and nail because, in the end of the day, man, just like music, literature, film, it's art, and people should be allowed to own art and whatever platform or form it is. I mean, it shouldn't be gate kept, and it kills the experience because there's people out there that, I mean, in other places like rural areas where the internet is terrible and they
Yeah,
can't even like have streaming, so they're missing out. And I mean, for example, dude, like in certain parts of South Carolina, I mean, there's pretty crappy internet. So it's interesting how down here you go to a certain CVS and stuff like that, and they still have Blu-rays. Like, you go to quite a few stores, and they still have Blu-rays and DVDs. The Walmart down here still has a $5
the
DVD
bin.
bin, which I haven't seen in ages. And
Yeah,
yeah, people are still buying physical media like if nothing ever happened. So I mean, I don't know. Hopefully, I mean, hopefully in the future they start understanding too that they can make more money if they stream, but they could also release it in physical. Because it's not gonna it doesn't mean that people are gonna unsubscribe or whatever to their stuff. Like, people are gonna keep wanting to watch it, but then if they end up loving a movie enough, they're gonna wanna also own their own copy. I mean, I don't know.
yeah.
Like, it's
No.
and it's tricky, but
Yeah, no, Netflix does stuff like that, especially them. But all
dude,
right, well,
yeah, I want Midnight Mass to be released, dude.
oh yeah, well yeah,
Absolutely,
like
man.
all the stuff, all the Mike Flanagan stuff that he's done on there, man.
Yeah,
Well, it's awesome, dude. Like I don't like. I think it's the Haunting on Hill House, the first one he did. Dude, that show is amazing. Now I will say that is on physical media. I know it is. The
that one
that
is,
one,
and the other
that
one
one, and the
too.
one after, yeah.
Yeah.
But then after that, like the one he's talking about, Midnight Mass, and then he did one. I forgot the name of it. With like a bunch of kids, like they all have cancer or something, and I forgot the name
Yeah.
of that one. That one,
Yeah.
that one's not out. And then his recent one, the House of Usher or something like that. That one was really good too, man. But that
Really? I
one,
didn't I didn't see that one.
oh man, yeah, that one's good, dude.
Dude,
But yeah,
I canceled it a long time ago, my subscription. Well, not a long time ago, but dude, I want to say close to like 6 to 8 months ago I canceled it and I was just done with it, man. But that one,
yeah,
the one you're thinking about, it's called something Society. I want to say the Midnight
Midnight,
Society.
yeah, the Midnight
But like,
Society.
from Are You Afraid of the
Now these
Dark? I
kids thinking
wish.
about Afraid of
But
the Dark.
they're making I think they're making the sequel to the show now, or a season, not sequel, but like a season 2. But
Flanagan
fantastic
was
show,
moving to
man.
Amazon. I heard he's moving to Amazon to do his shows now. He's leaving Netflix. And but luckily with him, he keeps making a lot of films too. Like he seems like this guy has a lot on his plate, and he's got The Life of Chuck coming out this year, and then next year he's doing that Exorcist one,
Oh,
and
The
he's
Exorcist.
continuing on with the shows too. So no, it's awesome, man. It's awesome that he's still doing all that stuff. But let's get back to Snowpiercer before we lose focus on the.
There we go. You know, every time they put us together, dude, I
So
swear.
what I love about this movie too, man, and I can't wait to rate it when we finish because I really like this movie. But so basically, the poor people in the back are tired of eating these freaking protein gelatin bars,
Yeah.
and they just want to. They're making a plan to move up to the front. They want to get to the engine. They want to bring all the rich people down, and Chris Evans is their leader. But what I really liked about it was getting to see each cart. I loved
Yeah.
like
The
how
layers.
like every time they open a door, you don't know what's gonna be behind it. And then I love the one with the like the aquarium one with all the fish floating around, and you get to see their expressions on their faces with these things that they haven't even seen. Some of them never, and some of them for a really long time. And then seeing like them eating like different foods, like you see they have so much. Like, there's one where they walk in, it's just a bunch of chickens and meat all around the place. Um,
Dude, it's
and
incredible. It's incredible how how the world that they created, like you said, with the aquarium, like it's almost like nothing ever changed. Like when they're in there, like when they're walking in one of the cartoons, like a barber, or something. Somebody was
Yeah.
getting like a haircut, but you know what my favorite part was besides the aquarium? It was the so there's that scene where that actor, he's trying to open that door, he's trying to hack the door, and he's all high and stuff, so he's having some trouble. And then Chris Evans is talking to the daughter, and he's
No,
like, "Oh,
yeah.
are you like clairvoyant and stuff?"
Yeah.
And she stands in front of the door, and that scene where she looks so terrified, and she's like, "Don't open the door," and then the
Don't
door
open it. Yeah.
opens. But the guys standing in that cart, like these executioners, dude, they reminded me of Silent Hill, or like not just Silent Hill, but it reminded me of Resident Evil. Do you remember the guy with the giant like axe type thing in
Oh
Resident
yeah.
Evil? So
Yeah.
that's what they reminded me of, the way they were dressed. But it was such a badass scene because these dudes looked like murderers, man. Like it looked
Yeah.
crazy, and then
You're
like
like, oh, these guys are done. Like they're cooked. Like you see, like all these guys, they all have like machetes and big knives, and these guys all mostly just have like this metal tube that they've been fighting with, and then
yeah,
all chaos ensues when they start fighting. And that scene also reminded me a little bit of, because they're all fighting just with these machetes and stuff. A little bit of, I don't know if you've seen Old Boy, when he goes through like this kind of like hallway or something, and he's just fighting all these guys with like a hammer and stuff.
dude, I haven't seen it, man. I haven't seen. Wow. Well, are you talking about the, because I know there's an American version, right? There's like the old
Nah, nah,
one. No,
no,
oh,
no,
there's only one.
The Korean. No, there is an American one,
Oh,
but I'm talking about the Korean one. The American one kind of stinks.
Josh Brolin's in it, right? I think he.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
and it's crazy because it was directed by Spike Lee, which is something Spike Lee never really makes, those type of movies. So it's not like he did a bad job. It's just that the original Korean version is just, it's very
yeah.
good, man. It's, yeah, I would definitely highly recommend that one. But so what I loved about this scene though is that they're all fighting, and after a little while they're gonna go through this tunnel where it's gonna get dark, and they all come out with like these freaking night vision things. And then you go, oh man, these guys are done. Like, and they go through a
Oh yeah.
brutal, what, like 3 to 4 minute scene where they're just killing these guys in the night vision stuff. That's pretty crazy.
Oh wait, I gotta. Oh yeah, dude. No, absolutely, man. Like, and then the scene too, where they go to that like. I hope I'm not skipping too far ahead, when they're like there's like that rave or that like party going
Oh, hold
on.
on. Before you get to that though,
Yeah.
let's go with that, the pretty ingenious thing that the people in the back came up with while they're getting killed with this night vision. Finally, Chris Evans screams fire, and from the back, this kid comes with this friggin' thing with fire, and he just goes there, and finally these guys freak out because like, oh, they're gonna have light, and they just all come in, and there's always like a new guy that keeps grabbing the torch, and finally when they get there, they just like light things on fire, and they keep fighting, and that whole scene was brutal, man. It was pretty crazy.
Dude, yeah, no, cinematography. Like when that cart opened with those executioners standing there, and the way the camera kind of like pans, like it does like this tunnel vision type thing, where it's like looking at Chris Evans, and then it does like this zooming type thing, and it looked so
Yeah.
intense. And then that reminds me of like carrying the torch at the Olympics type style with that kid
Oh
just
yeah,
running, and
you
it
keep passing it to the next person.
yeah, yeah. No, that was
You know,
incredible, man.
like,
I mean,
oh, and one of the guys carrying it was the guy that lost his arm in that cold part, and he's looking for his son, because that's another thing that happens is that it's something weird happens in the back. They keep taking these like really young kids that are small, and they keep measuring their hands and their arms and their height, and this comes into, we find out why they do that right at the end, the third act. But so one of his sons is taken. Oh, we forgot to mention that Octavia Spencer is in this movie, and she's a great actress, man. And they take her kid, and she's like part of the group going to fight and stuff. She's looking for her son that they took. That he's only 5 years old.
dude,
So
like when she got like hit, like the crap kicked out of her, man, like that sucked. Like her eye,
it's
like
brutal.
it's all like
Yeah.
swollen, and it looked so bad. Especially like the couple, the older couple, the violinists, um,
Oh yeah.
like
He
where
just
the where
punches. They punch the girl because they choose the guy.
dude, that
Yeah.
sucked. That poor lady, man. Like when they just like hit her in the face with the gun and like broke her hand or something, and like that was so sad because like the guy, like he was just trying to help his wife and stuff, and like the way
Yeah.
they just like
He's like,
messed
she's
her up,
better than I
especially
am at the violin. Why don't you take her? Leave me. And they're like,
yeah. And
oh,
then
we'll
there's
decide here. And they just beat the poor lady's butt. And it's pretty. This movie's pretty brutal, man. There's something that happens at the end that I definitely want to talk about, but we'll get to it eventually. But you were talking about that you also like the rave room after they do the whole fight scene.
Oh yeah, dude, it was kind of crazy. People were just like partying, like there's not like the world didn't just freaking end for the most part, and it's just it's
Yeah,
crazy to see the mentality in this film, man, because it really it's kind of it encapsulates how the world is now, where certain people are like living in a delusion,
hundred
and like
percent. Yeah,
yeah, man, and these people like they're so wealthy and so well off that it's like the real world doesn't exist. They're so
yeah. They live in a
consumed
different
by
world. They don't care
yeah.
what's going on. They're they're just partying, or they're just they don't think about that stuff. They ignore it, or they don't pay attention to it because they don't want to be brought down by it. So they're like, I
Yeah.
just block all that stuff and let's have fun. Um, there's a room here that to me was the creepiest room ever. Well, not ever, but it was the creepiest room in the movie, and that's because of what happens. And that's the room of the teacher teaching the kids all this like freaking stuff about the
Yeah.
creator of the train, and all these kids are saying like these crazy things, and they have like a song that's like, oh, if you go outside you die, but they're and you it's just the way they did it was just so creepy, dude. And the teacher, she purposely looks creepy, and the camera, the way it moves around her while she's playing the piano and singing the song was pretty creepy, man.
Dude, it's crazy how like they're not even teaching like the whole real history of the world. Like they're just like
Just the
it's
history of the train, and that's
yeah,
it.
they're like brainwashed to believe that they make it almost seem like even though because I think in the movie, if I'm not mistaken, it was 17 years prior that everything kind of went to crap.
Yeah,
But that's not that long of a time. It's not like, oh, 100 years ago or 50 years ago the world was like this. So for just 17 years to pass by and they're already kind of like making it seem like there was never a world before the train.
yeah.
Um
Well, for those kids there wasn't, right? So I guess that's
that's
why
true,
they're
yeah.
just they're like, oh, they're only teaching that history, and of and then like to them the god is Ed Harris' character,
Yeah.
the guy in
Ed
the front. I forgot
Harris.
his name, but
That's
yeah, it's just
oh no, go ahead. I'm sorry.
no. I was gonna say that you were saying about 17. It's funny because in that scene is when they say, oh, today is the 18th birthday. It's like the 18th year that we've been doing this,
Yeah.
and that's when they bring like this ton of eggs that they pass out. And of course these guys have been eating this gelatin crap that, oh, we did skip the scene where they go through the car where they make the gelatin, and we find out what it's made of, man.
Well, was it roaches or
it
crickets or
was a it
something?
was a bunch of all of them. It was like crickets, roaches, all this stuff that it
Oh,
has
dude.
protein. But so the guy's like, what have you been feeding us? He's like, man, I've been eating it too. And he eats it. He's like, dude, this is what I eat also.
The guy was so casual, nonchalant. He's just there making
It's like
roach
a
freaking
green gelatin, so you don't know what's in it, and we find out it's made of like roaches and all the insects, crickets, and all this stuff. So
dude.
finally, when they get to the eggs and stuff, they're like, "Oh my god, we're eating eggs and not this damn protein bars."
Somebody's Shay said gross. Oh, I know.
Yeah,
When I watch that scene, I'm always thinking that like Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans,
because I was
freaking Chris's. Yeah, that my reaction would have been worse, man. I probably would have thrown up. Like, that was because I've had like bugs and stuff. I mean, especially like when I traveled like in Thailand and places like that. But I guess the way it was being made in that freaking rusty ass like machine, and they're just here feeding people just like
yeah,
that only. I think how did people not notice the taste? Especially like, Chris, like like him coming from because he was in his 30s. He was like 34. If I'm not mistaken, when the world went to shit, he was 30, he was 17, and
yeah,
then he spent the 17 years on there. So he was like 34.
34, yeah,
Yeah. So I mean, he would have still had some knowledge of like taste
yeah.
of
He
different
says he.
things.
They ask him like, "Oh, how was it before?" And he's like, "I don't even remember. I've blocked all that out."
Yeah.
That false memories and hopes that he's never gonna come back. I guess he just doesn't want to discuss it anymore. But yeah, man, that was pretty nasty, man. But going back to the eggs, just because that scene is pretty crucial. Uh,
Oh, John Doe Juggalo, what's up, buddy?
what's up, man? what happens is the teacher has under this big egg basket like the machine gun, and she starts shooting at all of them, and then this other guy that was pushing this big car with eggs also has guns, and he's already at towards the end, and he starts killing the people from the back and stuff. So that was like, if you've never seen the movie, like that was a big surprise. Like, whoa, that came out of nowhere. They just start shooting a bunch of people. And I forgot in that scene, is that the scene? No, that's not the scene. We lose somebody there, right? It's not Octavia Spencer's character though. Because I know Jamie Bell's character dies in the next train. With
Yeah.
you get
Um,
this guy that's hunting them down. He has like this big like machete type uh weapon,
what?
and he's brutal, man. That guy's brutal. You can't bring him down. He's one of those like security guys that he becomes like the main
Yeah.
bad guy of the movie before we meet Ed Harris.
Dude, it's crazy how these dudes, like, especially like going back to that train where, I mean, not the train, yeah, I guess the certain section with those executioners. Like, dude, these people are eating really good because all those people were huge, man. Like,
Yeah.
these dudes were like freaking mercenaries, but there were so many of them, and it's like, how the hell do you like? I mean, I
Well, they
know they
had a
had,
bunch of chickens, and the only thing they only eat twice a year is the sushi. But everything else, it looks like they had plenty of steak, and because I know at the end that Harris is eating steak, and they did
yeah,
show a bunch of meat and chickens and stuff, and uh, I don't know, like I guess they breed them there, obviously, right? Because they're not getting them from the outside world anymore because it's all frozen. They do
yeah.
explain the whole water thing pretty cool. How the front of the train breaks the ice and it just brings in the water. It melts it and brings in the water, and that's how they have water to drink and to shower and stuff like that.
That's
So that
genius,
was,
dude. That's freaking genius.
yeah,
Like,
that's pretty interesting.
but like, you know what I hated, man? Honestly, like, I wish they would have they would have shown a bit more in the beginning of like the world and stuff, because I know they explained like news clips and stuff of like how they sprayed the chemical to help with like the global warming and whatnot. But I don't
Yeah,
know, I wish they would have shown a bit more. Like, I wish they would have shown a bit more of young Chris Evans and just like it happening. Like, I wish they would have shown it actually kind of happening, even if it would have been for the first like just 15 minutes or something, because I love stuff like that, man. Like, I love those origin stories, and I felt like, for me, even though he did a fantastic job, and it was cool to see him in this type of role, because I mean, you see, obviously we see him as Captain America, we see him as like the funny guy or the love interest of someone, but to
yeah.
actually see him like hone like these type of like characters and stuff like that, like it's fantastic. But like, I wish they would have, I felt like I would have been more interested and more excited about his character, seeing that, like seeing him develop a bit or something.
Well, you know what though? I get that, and I think that's probably what they saw in this movie and turned it into a show, so they can really like show a lot more information of not only how it
um,
happened, but just more of what's going on in the train on a daily basis and stuff like that. But for the movie, man, I actually really liked it, and I think the reason that I like it is we're gonna talk about it in the third act because
yeah,
some of the things we find out about Chris Evans is pretty crazy, man. It's pretty crazy, and I think if you have a backstory that you show too much of it, it takes away from that incredible monologue that he has at the end. Because Chris Evans lately hasn't been making too many good movies, man. But this movie reminded me that he's a good actor. He has it in him. He just needs to get better roles, man. Because lately he's been doing some crap with like The Rock and stuff, like really bad movies. Like I forgot the name of that Christmas
oh,
movie
the
that came out recently.
the red code red or red or something.
Red one.
Red
Yeah,
one.
it stinks. Yeah.
Dude, I did, when I saw the trailer, I already knew immediately I wasn't gonna watch it. It was just a no for me, man. Like, I hate when they just cop out and take the easy way, and they're just like, "Yeah, you know
Oh
what,
yeah,
we're just
just
gonna."
a big paycheck. Yeah.
Yeah, they throw all. You know what it is? It's like they think um quantity over quality, and they get a bunch of like actors and they just throw them in there, think it's gonna be a hit, and that's what they did there. I
Yeah.
mean, I love all the actors in that movie, but it was just, and especially the CGI, like in the trailer where you see
Oh
like
yeah.
the
Yeah, it looks
bear and all that,
the
and
snowman in the beach is terrible. No,
yeah,
but he has it in him, man. This movie like really showcases his acting skills. I think back in the day he made a movie. Was it him that he made a movie where I think no,
he
because
was
I
a
confused him.
lawyer.
I confused him with a Tom Hardy movie because I know Tom Hardy made a movie where he's driving the whole time, and I'm trying to remember if Chris Evans did one like it or if it was the one or Chris Evans did the one that he's buried because I think Ryan Reynolds did one where I confused
Yeah,
them.
no,
I
yeah,
don't.
yeah. Ryan did the buried one where he's like, yeah, he gets buried alive. That was a good freaking movie, man. I
Well,
have it.
Chris Evans did something like that, and I can't remember now. But I think it's something like that. That it just takes place in one spot, and it's just him mostly the whole movie and stuff. But he's got it in him. He's got it in him, man. So, but yeah, dude. I mean, I guess the only thing basically left to talk about the movie that I really want to talk about is that third act, man. There's a lot. Like we find out why this guy's been hoarding all that. That's what's the name of that stuff that he sniffs? I forgot the name. I should have written it down, but
Damn, I know what you're talking about. It looks like a little
yeah,
like those little coals, like the little fire starters.
yeah. So but they're toxic, and they're like you could. So he makes a bomb out of it. He wants to blow up the side of the thing. He just wants to get out because he's telling Chris Evans' character that it's like I've been seeing this plane down there every year, and every time we pass it, instead of being higher, the snow's lower, so it's obviously melting. So he knows that it's probably just better off for them to go out and survive in the snow than be stuck in this damn train. But he finally does open the final door, and we get Ed Harris, and this is where we find out that guy that's been like raising him and being his friend the whole time was actually not. He was friends with Ed Harris' character the whole time. They were talking through the phone and stuff. So it's like you have to have a leader in the front and you got to have one in the back, and that's
Yeah.
kind of how we find out this. And Chris Evans, like his world is like ruined and stuff.
Dude, was such dedication to that. They have that guy in the back and he's like missing an arm and all that, and he's all like dirty. So it's like it's crazy how like he just lived that life and it was all for sacrifice for everybody else to be able to like be
Yeah.
comfortable and stuff. Like I mean, it's true. It's I mean, the whole train concept is pretty genius. I mean, the whole hierarchy, um, even down to like the weapons, like in how Chris Evans in the beginning he was talking about how like they don't have any ammo or anything, and it's
Yeah.
like the way they created that illusion of power. It reminds me of the movie the Stanford Experiment, which is like based on a true story, where it just takes 2 days, 3 days, and
Oh yeah.
with the illusion of power, that you'll be surprised what the human psyche will believe. And that's what they did, man. Like they had these people programmed to believe that it's like you're stuck here and this is the way it is. And
Yeah,
um
he says there eventually they ran out of bullets, and even though they did pretty much run out of bullets, when we get that scene with the eggs and stuff, that they actually still have some bullets left. They were just saving them for later on because they have too much.
emergencies.
Yeah, because after that, there's no more. But I want to mention that monologue that Chris Evans has at the end, and we find out a lot of crazy stuff, man. To the point where he's telling the story to this Asian character, I forgot his name, and he's sharing the story with him, and he talks about how Chris Evans, when they first got to the back of that train, they were all like they all went in there, they weren't supposed to, and they stayed in the back, and there was just like they had nothing to eat. So we find out that he says that he had to eat people, they had to eat each other.
Yeah.
He says I even know what it feels like to eat a baby, and I know that they taste best. Like when he said all that stuff, I was like, oh man, this is crazy, dude. And like the reason that the old man in the back was missing his leg and his arm is because he's the one that stopped Chris Evans from killing one of the babies, and he cut off his arm and said, "Here, eat this," instead of eating the baby and stuff. And that's what caused the people in the back to finally stop killing each other and eating each other. And he said, little by little, they started cutting each other's limbs to feed themselves until finally the people in the front started bringing him those damn uh,
The
gelatins,
cricket.
the
Yeah.
cricket gelatins, which now sound pretty good compared to eating human flesh, right? So,
Dude.
um, but his monologue when he says all that stuff, man, it's crazy, dude. I have forgotten about that. And talking about eating humans and babies, like, damn, dude, that was like it went
That
really like this movie like goes for it, man. It goes
Yeah,
for it.
no, it really does. It challenges you in like the perception of the world, and it really makes you think. Like it makes you ask yourself, what would you do in that situation, right? Because
Yeah,
we could all morally right now say I would never do such a thing, but it's like an animal, right? Like your house pet, your dog, your cat. Yeah, they won't try to eat you or anything, but give
as
them
long
a
as you feed
month.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah,
give them a month of no food or anything, and it's just like because I was reading
yeah,
something earlier on that on Facebook, and it was like the story of this lady, how she passed away, and her two Dutch hounds, like after like a month or something, like they started eating her,
Yeah.
and
And a
and
cat would do it after like a week. They say a cat does it even quicker than a
oh
dog.
yeah, and which I mean, I would honestly, if I'm gone, like I wouldn't have a problem. Like I'd rather my animals not suffer. I mean, it's fine. It's like either way I'm gone, I'm not gonna feel anything. And but it's yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, imagine, dude, you were on the train, like what would we do? Um, but I mean, we know people in the world have done some crazy stuff to survive. Like the dude from 187 hours, where he like was drinking his own pee and all that. Um,
Oh,
the
the one the James Franco movie that they made
yeah,
that he ends up cutting off his own arm.
yeah, to
Yeah, I
escape
think
the
it.
canyon. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's called. If it's not called 27 hours, it's called something like that, right? Yeah, like
Oh,
you said,
100. I thought. Oh, you know what? You're right. I think.
127 hours. I think is what
Yeah,
it's called.
that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah,
Such a fantastic movie, but yeah, man, it's very this movie's very thought provoking. It's probably one of the craziest dialogues I've ever seen Chris Evans have, talking about eating a baby and eating people and stuff. I don't think I've
yeah.
ever seen a movie with him like talking
I
about
did
some
not
dark
expect
stuff.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's refer-
that final monologue was crazy, but
yeah,
that's what reminded me. I'm like, damn, this guy, he could do like really good work, man. And I loved his
yeah,
work as Captain America. Don't get me wrong. I thought
yeah.
he was awesome in the role, but I think he definitely can do more drama and stuff like that for sure.
They even I noticed that Hollywood trick where it's like to make a person like darker and more mysterious, like they'll dye like, because with him, like normally he has like the lighter hair and the beard and all that stuff. But in this movie, like you see his beard's like dark, like they dyed it black and all that, and they were trying to make him
Yeah,
very like disgruntled and very beat up and all that. Hey,
yeah.
look what we have here.
We're used to seeing him with the lighter blondish hair.
What's up, Keith? Dude. Yeah, man, you need
Yeah, man, I
to.
think that the movie's definitely worth a rewatch. That's how I felt
Yeah.
about it. I hadn't seen it, like I said in the beginning, like 8 years, and it was almost like watching it new again. And I forgot just how good it. I actually always thought it was a good movie, but this time around, I loved it. Like sometimes you rewatch movies, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, they're like, oh, this movie's not that good. I don't know why I used to like it or something. And then sometimes you rewatch them and you just fall in love with them. And this is one of them for me, man. I really liked it. I still
Yeah.
think Parasite's his best movie, but this one's probably my second favorite now
Oh,
from his.
absolutely, man. I mean, until I see something else of his better. But yeah, what's crazy about this movie is that, and I think in another 10 years, because it was 2013, so it's been over like what 12 years since that movie came out.
Yeah.
And well, wait, it's probably been more. My math is probably off right now. And sorry about the
No,
dog,
it's
guys. If you hear my dog
well, in
barking.
2023 was 10 years, so it's been 12 years.
Well,
It's going on
yeah.
12 years.
So imagine another 10 years. I'm pretty sure this film's going to hold up just because the story is so, I mean, so realistic, man, with the global warming, with just
Yeah.
everything going on, especially with technology. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if we have bullet trains now. I wouldn't be surprised in 10 years from now, like, there would be a train like this with the aquarium and all that stuff, unless it already exists.
Yeah, who knows, right? I mean, I don't think so. Well, maybe somewhere in Asia they do have that
That's your,
advancements out there.
they
They
always
already
have the
have the
cool
bullet
stuff.
trains and all that. So yeah, they
Yeah.
might have something like it for sure. I mean, they already have those boats that they have like that glass bottom where you can see the
Yeah.
ocean and stuff. So you never know. But yeah, man, overall, I really enjoyed it. I think the only other thing I was gonna mention, just a little background in the movie had like a 40 million budget, and it didn't do well in the United States. I don't know if it was promoted well, or unfortunately this was made by the Weinstein company at the time. This was
Oh,
like
no.
their last legs and stuff, so I don't know, they did a well job promoting it, but I think it made like 86 worldwide. So I mean, it didn't bomb or anything. It just didn't do that well here, but it's definitely has a great following, cult following here and worldwide. It's been known. I obviously had enough of an audience for them to make a TV show on AMC that lasted like 4 or 5 years. So the story's there, man. And I was saying when you got up that it's based on a French graphic novel. So I didn't know that till yesterday. I looked it up. I was like, because I saw in the beginning credits that it said it was based on. I thought it was a French book because of the author's name, but it turns out it's a graphic novel.
Yeah, dude.
So
Speaking of which, actually, it has like, at least I don't know if yours came with it, because like if like so my obviously I have the standard look in, no slip covers, no frills or anything. Ton of special features I've yet to check out. I have to,
yeah,
but
did it
this
come
is
with what?
oh, this that's what I was gonna show. the little paper says the graphic novel that inspired the hit film, and there's
Oh, okay.
actually like um there's a
Some
few
in
actually.
mine, and I probably threw it away. I mean, does it have a digital code? I don't think it came with a digital copy.
It doesn't have a digital copy, but it does say that it has volume one again, and then volume two, the Explorers. So you know what? I wonder if that third book or second book, um, it actually has to do with them exploring the Earth, which that'd be
Oh
freaking
yeah,
cool. I'm
yeah.
so
You should look
surprised,
that up,
man.
man. 'Cause maybe you could buy them or some just to read the second volume, or even to read both of them. Because I'm sure there's a lot of information that even if it's a
Yeah,
graphic novel, the books always have more information that certain things they cut out of movies and stuff.
yeah,
But
absolutely, man. Like, and I wish that that like I really wish that they would have. I know, like you were saying, it didn't bomb, but it didn't do so well. But I guess that's why they probably didn't do the sequel, but it would have been fantastic, man, to just see, like, even if it would have been like 7 years, another 17 years later,
yeah,
they would have shown like the little girl, the daughter of that, like the junkie cow out in the world and stuff. I think that would have been a good way to go with the movie, because even if they
I
couldn't get
mean,
Chris.
I wonder because the way it ends, like they both there's only the little girl and the little kid come out, and they see a polar bear walking around,
Yeah.
and it's all just snow. So I wonder like what's what how do they survive now? Like they don't have, now it's cold, and I was like maybe they were better off in the train. I don't know.
That's true, man. I mean, it's gonna be hard to freaking get a fire going. But Keith, he was asking for if we've have you guys seen Bong's new movie? Bong, Mickey 17. I know I
James
haven't
Bond's new
seen it.
movie.
James Bond. That
No, I haven't. I set up. I think we spoke about this in the first video. But funny enough,
yeah.
that the first live we did the other day. I know I had tickets to go see it, and then I wasn't able to make it, so I canceled. And then this past weekend, I didn't have enough time to see it, but we did have time to go to the movie, so I ended up watching Black Bag because it's really short, and I really like that movie. But I definitely want to see Mickey 17, and I'm gonna see it finally this weekend. I can go check it out.
Yeah, he said he hasn't seen it yet, but he's looking forward to it. And
Yeah,
same here, man. I mean, when I remember when I first saw the trailer, I was so excited for it just because like Robert Patterson's such a great actor, and the story looked very interesting. It reminded me of the movie Moon with the whole
yeah.
clones. Um
Moon's a good movie, man. I remember discovering that movie, and
oh
when
yeah.
I first watched it, when it first came out, no one had heard of it. At least at that time, it was like 2009.
Yeah.
And I was working at a bar at the time, and I kept telling everyone at the bar to watch it and recommending it and lending out the copy and stuff. And everyone I showed it to loved it. It's a good movie. Sam Rockwell is a great actor, man.
Dude, he's
But
fantastic, man. He's one of my favorites. I mean, the guy's just funny, like he's just all around good actor. I remember when he was in that Cheney movie, I think he was playing Bush, if I'm not
oh
mistaken, and he was just
oh
so
yeah,
yeah, he was so funny, dude. The way he did it. I mean, not that he was like doing like comedy or anything, but his acting was just so on point, and just
no,
doing the voice
and
and
he's
everything.
funny. He's done like he has
Yeah.
some funny moments in that the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy movie. I don't know if you've seen it, but that's a fun movie, man. And
No.
but
Keith was saying, I love that he's in the first Ninja Turtles as a goon. I
yeah,
had
he is.
no idea,
Yeah,
dude. Are you serious?
it's like he knew that we were originally we were supposed to talk about Ninja Turtles today, actually. But
Yeah.
GC is not a turtle maniac like me, and he didn't have the Blu-ray,
I
so
don't, man.
we decided on Snowpiercer, which it was a good deal, man. I'm glad I got to see this movie again. I'm actually gonna work on a Ninja Turtles video myself, coming up soon to celebrate the 35th anniversary of that first movie because I love it. That's one of my favorite movies growing up as a kid, and I used to love all the karate stuff. So I'm looking forward to doing that one. And But yeah, man, he was part of the Foot Clan. He was there with the guys and stuff. I do remember that he was like recruiting people and stuff.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, he's the dude giving out
Yeah,
cigarettes in that awesome Foot
they
Clan
got the
hideout.
they got that scene with the kids playing pool and he's smoking a cigar and stuff. And like super
Oh man.
1990s fashion, Love the movie, man.
Dude,
I could hear I'm hearing the music in my head of that scene right now. I
Oh,
know that movie from head to toe, from beginning to end, man. So I can't wait to talk about that one too. And but
I need to get the triple pack Blu-ray on the one I was telling you about. I saw on eBay. It's
yeah,
just, you know
man.
what? After I saw yours, man, like, oh, if you're gonna pull it out, that'd be awesome because I know yours is like the pizza box, right? Yep, that's
Yeah, man,
freaking.
it's a pizza
That's
box,
that's so freaking cool, man.
and it's got the movies all look like pizzas and stuff.
That's what I'm gonna have for dinner. I'm making one of those little
Yeah,
healthy pizzas. So that's like, I'm telling you,
and
man, like it
it
wasn't
came with a
hard.
hoodie too, man. I got the hoodie put away somewhere else.
Really,
With
it
a
came with
little,
the hoodie.
well, not like a, yeah, just like what do you call the ones
Oh,
from
like
just the one,
beanies?
a beanie, not a
Yeah,
hoodie.
yeah.
Yeah, like you can't fit a hoodie in here, but a beanie was
I
in
was gonna
here.
say, man, I was like, it
And
must have been one of those like thinner like hoodies and
yeah,
stuff.
vacuum sealed and shit.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, because yeah, some companies nowadays do stuff like that. They're like, I mean, dude, you'll be surprised with the whole vacuum seal thing. But Shay says, Turtle Maniac.
She's making fun of me saying turtle maniac.
Yeah,
Well,
you
that's
know,
right. I mean, when I was a kid, all I wanted when I was 8 years old was my parents to get me the turtle figures and the movies on VHS, which I still have the first two from when I was 8 years old, and I just love those first two Ninja Turtle movies are amazing. I hate the third one, and then the animated fourth one was okay, and the Michael Bay ones I didn't really like.
dude, the third movie, I've run into it every time I go to almost any thrift store or like
Yeah,
used movie store. It's always that one, and I always get excited
everyone
because it
throws
says
that one
Ninja
away.
Turtles. Yeah, it always says Ninja Turtles, so I go get it, and
Dude,
always
I never owned
disappointed.
it until this, but actually, I'm not lying. But what I mean is, like, I never bought it. I always had the first two, and then in high school, I had a friend. I remember that he hated it too, and he's like, "Dude, I'm gonna go throw away the VHS. Do you want it?" And I was like, "Oh no, I'll take it if you're gonna throw it away." And true story, dude. Like a couple of years later, I got rid of it too. I was like, I'm not gonna watch that. The third one is really bad.
Dude,
But
I would have kept the VHS just to like have it, to have the collection, dude.
yeah, but at the time, VHS was still around, so nobody cared about like if you didn't want it, you just got rid of it, or like I told you, I used to have probably like 200 VHS movies growing up, just buying them. I've never considered myself a movie collector, just more of a movie buyer because I love rewatching movies. I don't really buy them to say I'm a collector. I guess I kind of am, but in a way for me, it's just because I love to rewatch movies. So I'm not a blind
Yeah.
buy type of guy. If I buy a movie, it's because I love it. Nothing wrong with blind buying. For at that time, it was just like, yeah, I'm gonna get rid of all these VHSs for space so I can buy DVDs, and then got rid of the DVDs to get the Blu-rays.
Dude,
But
I as you see behind me, man, like I I'm glad I kept a few of my like childhood VHS. Now I'm still kind of like on this journey of recollecting everything that I once had when I was growing up, at least the stuff that meant like the most to me. And
yeah,
dude, it's been awesome meeting people in the community. For example, Keith from High Volume Video. Awesome dude. He was the one commenting, this guy here. Coolest freaking dude. Amazing content, man. Like his videos are phenomenal. I know this is like a little, you know, like a little plug, but like he like talking to him and stuff and seeing him and his journey, like, collecting VHS and all that. It's really inspired me, man. Like when I find stuff on VHS now, like obviously like I'm only getting it if I absolutely love it and stuff. But
yeah,
yeah, as you see back there, man, like I have my VHS, I have my DVDs down there, the Blu-rays and all that good stuff. And I enjoy it, man. I can't wait to get one of those CRT TVs. I know we were talking about it before. And
yeah,
Jeff, John Dojiglo, he was telling us too about like the good deals out there for CRT
yeah,
TVs and
yeah. I
stuff
remember,
like
yeah,
that.
the tube TVs. Yeah, man. I'm still waiting to offer up one. I kind of have a chance of getting one, but I don't, just because of space right now. I like you were saying, you rather have. I think I'd rather have a small one, like you know, the most, like, even though like we said, a 19 inch is still big anyways for a
Oh,
tube TV.
dude, I'm actually
But
thinking of getting a 13 inch. Like those little
yeah,
13 inches look so awesome, and I've been watching them on eBay. You're obviously going to be probably spending about $100 to $150 more or less, but I've been finding some mint condition ones with the remote, not a scratch on them, and they're like fully tested, and they're refundable if they're not good. And I've been kind of watching a few of them to see if, I don't know, not now. I got some other stuff I got to take care of, but eventually I do want to be able to, if I get a good deal,
Yeah.
get one for my
Get
desk
a
or
little,
something.
9-inch one. I saw this past weekend. We went to a thrift store, but everything was kind of expensive in it. And the guy was playing Happy Gilmore on his 9-inch tube TV on a VCR, and I was tempted to ask him if he was gonna sell the 9-inch, but I didn't ask him. He had a laser disc player. I think I mentioned this to you, and
You did tell me, yeah, it was like $100
yeah,
or something.
yeah, he wanted $100, but I like it wasn't tested, and I was like, nah, like I said, right now those are all things that I kind of want to get in the future, but right now I'm not gonna get them because of space and stuff like that. But the tube TV maybe though that is
Yeah.
because the one that they're selling here in my area, the lady selling it is what's $100, but it's I think it's like a 20. I don't know. I don't think it's a 27 because that would be too big, but it might have been a 19 or something. But it was with a VH. It was a combo with the DVD and the VCR and everything. So I don't want to pay 100, but for like $80, maybe I'll do it if she brings it
Yeah.
down. We'll see.
Dude, speaking of Happy Gilmore, I want to get everybody's opinion real quick. I know this was a video about Snowpiercer. We did talk most about it. We will get to the end of it, but I
But
am
we'll rate it.
curious.
We'll rate it at the end.
Yeah, for sure. But I am curious because now that you brought that up, I saw the trailer for Happy Gilmore, and I want to get everybody's opinion. I want to get obviously Lee your opinion first, and everybody else comment in there, and let's all talk about it. What'd you think, man? Like, what was your first thoughts when you saw the whole Happy, like Gilmore, no
Well,
trailer come up?
for me, first of all, the first Happy Gilmore I love. I've always loved it.
Yeah.
That's the first Sandler movie I saw in theaters. I remember watching it at the time where this. I don't know if for anyone younger might not remember this, but there used to be a lot of dollar theaters back in the day in the 90s. So dollar theaters would put out movies that maybe about 2 to 3 months after they came out in regular theaters, they would put them at the dollar theater right before they came out on VHS and Blockbuster to rent. And I saw it at the dollar theater and I loved it. With that being said, I always worry about these sequels that take 30 years, 20 years to come out. I think about Dumb and Dumber 2, which Dumb and Dumber, the first one, is my favorite comedy of all time. Like yeah, I told you this and you couldn't believe it. But I was like, yeah, I love Dumb and Dumber. And the sequel wasn't that great, man. They
Yeah.
looked older. They just didn't feel like they should be playing that character no more. But in the trailer, Sandler looks pretty good. I think he has that spirit of Happy Gilmore in most of his movies for comedies. And I didn't, to be honest, I didn't even finish the trailer. I saw about half of it, and I decided, you know what, I'm not gonna go to the theaters and get spoiled by seeing these trailers. So if I could avoid it, I'd rather just wait till the movie comes out and watch it kind of without no trailers. So I only saw half of it, but the little half I saw, I thought looked pretty decent. It looks
Yeah.
like they're capturing the vibe of the first one a little bit. But I'm not too excited about the hearing that it has like 1,000 cameos. Like I don't want to see
Oh
a million
yeah.
cameos.
I
You
I
know,
felt I felt like them having Bad Bunny as his I forget what the position's called for golf. I don't know much about
the
golf.
caddy, like that's
The
his caddy.
caddy, yeah,
Is
in the
that? Oh,
trailer.
okay. I didn't even see the trailer with that far away, but I heard he was in it, but I haven't seen that part.
Yeah, and I don't know. I feel like it's one of those like felt like a cash grab because it's like he's obviously Bad Bunny's like a like a sensation in the music industry and stuff, and to put him as a caddy, I felt like they could have got somebody funnier. I mean, Bad Bunny's acting was pretty decent in Bullet Train, but I mean, I know that's the only thing
Yeah,
I've seen him in, so I can't really judge him too much. But Lee, we have another Lee, says Sandler gave up on acting, and I think it's true. I think that the things with Sandler is that he's
gave
gotten
up on.
older.
He put acting
Oh no, yeah,
on
because
his.
he corrected it. I don't
Oh,
know.
okay, okay. I didn't see that. Okay.
Yeah, and
Well, I mean, I disagree because he's been making good dramas. I mean, Uncut Gems, not a couple years ago, right?
yeah, I own that one.
Um,
That one's phenomenal.
what about the Hustle one, the one he did for Netflix, man? That movie was I enjoyed it a lot. The
Yeah,
basketball one, did you see it?
I remember. I don't know if I finished it, but I was watching it, and no, you're right. It was good too, and it's true. It's like the thing is with Sandler, it's that I think he also got tired of the bullshit stuff. Like he was making a ton of movies where a lot of them were funny, a lot of them were just kind of flops. I know some of them he was making just to make like just for his kids. Like some of the ones when the
Yeah.
kids growing up, and I know he's gotten older. A lot of his friends have gotten older. A lot of people are not acting anymore. I mean, obviously his best friend Chris Farley's not around, and one of his
Well, but
last.
he's been gone for a long time, yeah.
Oh no, yeah, absolutely. But one of his last specials, that Sandler did, he was like doing the whole like memorial thing. He was like playing a song for his friend and stuff, and
Yeah.
you could tell, dude, the guy's tired. He's, he wants a change of pace and misses his friend, misses the way things were.
Yeah, but I mean, look, I agree with that. I mean, what I love about Sandler, because I'm a big Chris Farley fan, is that he's always, um, even after, this guy died in 1997, right?
Yeah,
And he's always kept his spirit alive since then. And Sandler blew up right around the time that this guy died, right? Chris Farley, in 1997. In '98 he had the Wedding Singer and the Water Boy at the same year, huge hits, and that's where he really blew up. Even though he did have Happy Gilmore in '96, but I think Sandler had a great run theatrically for the most part. Maybe that second Grown Ups movie is terrible in my opinion, and then Jack and Jill was a nightmare. But I think the Netflix stuff for his comedies in Netflix, I agree with you guys that it was bad.
yeah.
For the most part, I think I only enjoyed one that he did with David Spade. That was pretty funny, but the rest of them I didn't like too much. But I do think he's still doing pretty good in drama, man. When he tries to, like, spread the muscle, I think he does pretty well, man. I've always been a huge Adam Sandler fan. I have almost all his movies on Blu-ray, except for Jack and Jill because I hate it. And but I do get that a lot of people got tired of his stuff because a lot of the stuff was very samey.
Oh yeah, it says yes. I'm referring to Happy Gilmore too. Dude is playing himself. Yeah, no, you could tell. Yeah, you could tell he's just like, he
Yeah.
didn't even like shave or anything. He's just like kind of.
He's like, yeah, I did wonder because I know he's had a beard lately all the time, and I wondered why he didn't shave it for Happy Gilmore since Happy Gilmore didn't have it. But to be fair, I'm sure a lot of us are not having the same style that we had in 1996. That's one thing I thought was super corny about Beetlejuice was having Winona Ryder with the same stupid hairstyle from the 80s. Like, it looked
Yeah,
cool in the 80s, but why would she be an adult with that same exact hairstyle?
yeah, it
And
didn't
like
match her
that.
at all. It looked weird.
So yeah, so Sandler having the beard, I'll excuse it for him because he's not the same guy after 20 something years, or 30. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm very open to the movie. I'm hoping it's good, and I'm not expecting much, man. Comedy sequels are tough. Very rarely can you even name me a comedy sequel that's better than the first one. There's some that are good, but better than the first one is rare. It's not like action or even drama, like in my opinion, Godfather 2 and things like that, where there might be a sequel that's better than the first. Very rarely in comedy. I
I
can't think
think
of any right now.
I think no, and you're right. For example, like Zoolander, dude, Zoolander's hilarious. And the second one I really enjoyed because they were making fun of the new generation, which was hilarious. It was very brilliant. The first time I saw it, I didn't like it. Like, I thought it was okay. I thought they were trying too hard. But after
I didn't like
rewatch
it. Yeah.
but after rewatching it, especially because I rewatched it like a few months back, and it was just one of those it was funny. Like, it was funny because I really paid attention, and the jabs that they were throwing at the new generation was just incredible. But yeah, it was one of those things, man, where, like, for example, I think The Hangover 2 is freaking hilarious. So that's one of those
Hangover, yeah,
instances where
do you think it's better than the first one?
I gotta rewatch it.
I
It
mean,
might not.
Hangover 2 is basically the same. It's like a clone of the first one, just them being
Yeah,
in Thailand instead of being or wherever, in Bangkok instead of being in Vegas. And it had funny moments, but I don't
yeah,
know, man. At least for me, I like the first one better.
dude.
I
Chris is here, the bearded film guy. What's up, dudes? And then
Hey,
he
how's it
said,
going?
he says, "Sorry, I'm late." You know
You're
what,
late.
man?
You're in the third act, man. We're
That's
almost
it.
done.
You made it, man. No, so Chris, is the one I was talking about. Dude, was it you that you were saying that you didn't really care too much for Parasite, or was it somebody else? Because we were talking about that earlier. Um, but yeah, man, let me know in the comments, dude. If not, I hear I blamed you.
He's trying to find the person that didn't like Parasite that much.
I'm gonna hunt you down, man, and all 5 of our viewers, we're gonna find you.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, going back to the comedy sequels before we rate the movie at the end. Yeah, I mean, at least for me, like, yeah, Hangover 2 was okay, but
no, it
oh,
was
there you
him.
go. There you go.
Damn
Well,
it.
it is what it is, man. Some people don't like
Oh
certain
no, yeah.
movies.
That's a fun thing about art, man. It's like,
Yeah, of
you know,
course.
everybody enjoys it
Uh,
differently.
yeah, for sure, man. But yeah, I can't think of a comedy sequel that's
Damn.
that's better than the first one, man. I mean, there's some, like I said, there's some good ones, but I'm trying to think of like how Horrible Bosses 2 nowhere near as good as the first, or I mean, I actually do really like Anchorman 2. I enjoy that movie a lot,
Yeah.
but I still think the first one's better for sure.
You think
Um,
I feel like the new, not dodgeball, but that new pickleball movie that Ben Stiller's working on, it feels like a sequel, but I know it isn't like a direct one,
oh
but
yeah. Mhm.
I'm wondering how much of the original cast from dodgeball is going to be in that one, because it's very, I mean, I feel like they just kind of changed the sport. That's all they did for the most part. But
Yeah,
I'm
well, Vince Vaughn's been talking about it for years that he has an idea for Dodgeball 2, but Ben Stiller just doesn't want to do it. So I wonder if maybe they use that just to make the other thing.
clicks play on Super Mario Brothers 93 for the 1000th time. That's hilarious.
I don't get it. What do you mean?
Well,
Because he's is that something that you guys talked about, Super Mario?
no. I thought it was funny because I just picture it like I did for the
Was he like,
1000th
I hate Parasite, but I'm gonna go watch Super Mario 93 for the thousandth time?
time.
I mean,
Maybe.
listen, I like Mario Brothers 93. That movie's fun, man. That's a Friday night, whiskey in my hand, just enjoying a classic, fun
Dude,
movie, man. Trust the
I want
fungus.
I want the box set, man. That box set, and
Yeah, but it's
I think
so.
Chris
I'm
has
not
it.
paying eight. They were selling it for $100, and now it's down to 70. Nah, I'm not paying $70 for a movie, man. That's
That's
just
the
not me. But
Australian one too, right? Where you have to pay like another 30 or $40 for shipping.
I don't know. I don't know if it's that much, but I think I would go bare bones like I did with Sidekicks with it, and just get the regular, just to at least have it on 4K. But
You can't,
but
dude. You got to get the Chuck Norris magazine that comes with it. But
yeah,
we got a Lee that said coming to America. It's so funny having two Lees, and like who would have thought? But in the chat and stuff. But coming to America sequel horrible. I don't remember if I saw it. I don't think I did.
yeah. I saw it. It was on Amazon. It was
Yeah.
it was basically called Coming to America also, but they put the two in the middle. And yeah, it was bad. I didn't like
You know,
that movie either.
I do have
They waited forever. Just like that's the worry with Happy Gilmore. They just waited too long.
they did. But I do have one. I don't know if it's a sequel, but it's like the third one or prequel, whatever. That I know it's gonna be blasphemy saying this because it's your favorite movie, but I actually thought that
Don't say it.
the
I know you're gonna see it.
the
You're
the
gonna talk
Dumb
about
and
the prequel.
the Dumb and Dumber prequel, dude. Because again, I know I know, man, but that scene, the two scenes in particular, where where the guy goes to the girl's
Yeah, the
house
shit. The shit
and,
part's funny.
and with Bob Saget, like when he gets like the chocolate all over, and then
There's shit everywhere.
yeah, he goes in the bathroom and he's just screaming. He's like, he shit all over the walls. There's shit everywhere. And then same thing with when he hits him with the car. He's like, oh my god, he's got shit all over my car. Dude, it was just I I can't I till this day, no matter how many times I watch those two scenes, I cannot stop laughing. I felt like and it's just the way Bob Saget delivered it that was so funny that I think it was funnier those two scenes than any of the original Dumb and Dumber scenes. Like they never made me except when he's in the bathroom. That was freaking hilarious. But the
No, I
rest of
mean
the
to
movie didn't
me,
make me laugh like that.
well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, yeah, well, comedy is subjective, but
Yeah.
I don't know, not even close for me, man. I mean, Dumb and Dumber is my favorite comedy. So I mean, to me, it's just everything about it. It doesn't even have to be laugh out loud funny, but it just puts a smile on my face the whole time.
Jeff says Bob Saget's the best thing about that Oh, absolutely, man.
Well, yeah, I
Honestly,
mean, look,
yeah.
listen, that movie's a mess. It starts with the movie's supposed to be taking place in the 80s, and it starts with the guy dancing to Vanilla Ice Ice Baby, which came out in 1990. First mistake. Like,
Yeah.
just in the beginning, I was already like, oh, come on, this is little things you could research
Rookie
before you make
mistake.
a movie. But it's just those two guys are just not funny to me. The guys that played Lloyd, it's just, I mean, you can't compare Jim Carrey, and Jeff Daniels is
Yeah.
amazing in that movie. everything about it, just the way it's written, every little joke and genius for me, man. But no, like I said, everybody, you know, we all have different tastes in movies, and that's what makes it fun. But yeah, Bob Saget was funny in little things when he would come out in Half Baked and stuff like that.
He said,
Exactly.
our pets' heads are
Yeah.
falling off."
He
That's
sold
hilarious.
Petey. He's like, how'd you
Yeah.
sell Petey? Petey didn't even have a head. He's like, Harry, I took care of it. Oh man, I love it. I can quote it all day. I don't even have to. I can watch it on mute and know everything they're saying.
You know what we're gonna
But
have to do, man? We're gonna have to do a video talking about. I'm gonna rewatch it again, and we're just gonna have to talk about it like we're doing here. I mean, obviously, we'll focus more on the movie than we always get a little derailed. I mean, but it's fun. I mean, that's the thing with these lives that it's also it's just nice to bring in all the movies and get everybody involved in the chat and stuff. But
yeah,
no, we definitely
not
got to
for
make
sure.
a live on that one.
Yeah, I wanted to do it last year, man, because make a video because you know I watched it because it was the 30th anniversary of the movie. It came out in December of '94, so last year in December of like this few months ago, I watched it and I loved it, man. I had a blast. It's you know I've saw it so much when I was a kid, like 100 freaking times that nowadays I'll watch it like once every like 3 4 years. You know, I don't watch
Yeah.
it like yearly. You know, but you know, there's a few comedies that I still watch yearly. You know, like American Pie and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, man. We'll talk about sequels. American Pie 2, man. I like it. I liked it, but it's not as good as the first one. You know.
Damn. Uh, I felt like it was up there. Like to me, it was not like better, but it was. I mean, to me, it's my favorite one out of the trilogy. One. Hold on. No,
There's four. There's
there's
four.
four. Yeah, I think it was my favorite
No, I
one.
actually like the fourth one better than two now. Like
Oh, the
to me,
reunion.
Reunion was the one that got it right, man. It hit all the beats of the first one, and with them, and it hit the beats of them getting older, and they're like
Yeah,
the old men now, and the girl next door that he used to babysit is like a hot chick next door now, and I love American Reunion, man. It's literally for me, it's one, four, two, and three. The wedding one was funny, but it too much Stifler, man. They overdid it. I think they saw that he was the funniest thing in the first few, and they overdid it with putting him in every little scene, and it was just too much for me. But the scene where he eats the shit is pretty damn funny in
dude.
American Wedding for
Dude,
sure.
Stifler always gets screwed, man, in every movie. But that scene for American Wedding where he's like doing the dance off, like
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
like, I could be sexy or something like that, and he was just so fucking funny, dude.
yeah.
Uh, and you know Jeff is right too. He was saying the one dude was great and fired up though. And I know what you're talking about, Jeff. Like the actor, he was the one
Yeah,
that played Lloyd.
the blonde guy that played yeah, he played Harry, I think. Yeah. No,
Oh
no, he played Lloyd.
no,
He played Lloyd.
yeah,
He
played
played
Lloyd.
Lloyd. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he.
yeah,
I mean,
he was. I remember that fired up movie. I think it was about cheerleaders, and it was like a comedy with cheer. I only saw it once, but I do remember,
dude,
vaguely remember
I
that one.
have that one on DVD and it's freaking hilarious. Love that movie, man. It's so freaking funny. It really reminds you of American Pie. And then speaking of American Pie 2, yeah, Jeff was saying me and Brian just did a live talking about American Pie 2. I do have to watch it, man. I'm still catching up on everybody's videos. And Lee knows about this too. That's why I haven't posted. Like I've been doing these lives lately just because it's very like quick to set up and talk to everybody. But
Yeah,
yeah, I was in the process of moving in last few weeks, last month. It was brutal. So I just had stuff packed away and I'm finally getting back into the groove of things. So I'm still catching up on everybody's videos, but I'll definitely be watching it, Jeff. I'm
that's
freaking
awesome, dude.
excited.
Yeah, man. The American Pie movies have a special place in my heart, man, because they're like, you know, I'm of that generation, you know.
Yeah. And he's
So,
also saying Stifler's way too dumb in part. Yeah, that's true. I do
yeah,
agree, man.
he's just in it too much, man. He was just like, and I love
Yeah.
him in the way they put him in. That's what I thought Part Four did a really good job because they still put him in there a good amount, but not as much, and it focused more on the group setting. And American Wedding is missing some main characters in there that they
Yeah.
don't have. Chris Klein's character is not back. I mean, the only movie that brought everyone back was Part Four. Like, I mean, they
Yeah.
brought a lot of the people for the most part back in two, but I think someone was missing, wasn't there?
Trying to
I
remember.
forgot. I mean, because even Shermanator comes out in two, as he ends
Yeah.
up with Nadia and stuff. Um, but yeah, I watch those movies a lot. I've been watching them almost yearly. I mean, the first one came out in '99, and I was in ninth grade at the time, so it was like high school for me. And I went to see it in the theaters and loved it, and saw every single one of them in the theaters. And I
You
really
know,
enjoy those.
dude, grow like it's. I honestly like American Pie, like the series, the franchise, at least the original ones, the original four. Um, it's crazy because when they came out, I was just getting the first one came out. I was just getting into high school, and I feel like they're so relatable to our lives, to our generation, where we grew up with them. And I would love to see a fifth movie of just them showing them now, like a part of the new tech generation and all that stuff, because dude, it's been great, man. It was great to see them transition from high school to college to to
Yeah,
getting married to like reunion, and just
yeah,
to
the
see.
reunion one did that a lot though. I mean, it showed them as adults. It showed Jim having a kid. I mean, it even has the opening scene of the bed moving, and you think they're having sex, and they're actually just trying to put the baby to bed,
Yeah.
and it's like a bunch of really cool stuff, man.
Uh,
So
Keith was saying, dude, have you guys seen Goon, the hockey movie with Sean William Scott? So funny.
yeah, yeah, I
I've
saw
always
it.
heard of it. I've never seen it.
There's two of them. I saw both. I like the first one better. Yeah, and it has the guy. Yeah, I forgot the guy's name. That he was in the Wolverine movie, and he was in Scream 3. I forgot this guy's name now.
I know who you're talking about. He plays Sabretooth, the actor,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I
Yeah.
forgot his name too. But before we go, I gotta show off because you made a whole video about it. So I gotta show off the big American Pie also.
Oh yeah, dude. Thanks to you, man. You were the one that told me like at 1 in the morning. You're like, hey man, that thing is on the 4Ks for $18 on
Yeah,
Amazon.
man.
And
I'm I'm
I got lucky, dude.
I'm excited to if that same thing happens with the second one.
That'd be great.
Um, that's probably as far as I'll go because I saw that the third one's not even 4K on it, and was it the fourth one? But either way, yeah, I would rebuy them because I love these movies. I'm happy to have this one. Unfortunately, can't watch the Blu-ray, but I could watch the the 4K at least. You
Yeah.
know.
Dude, and speaking of like people, Frank's here. What's up, Frank? And dude,
Hey,
we
man.
just gotta give the guy a big congrats, man. Let me take a quick look because I could have swore. Let me see here, because Frank, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was six. Yeah, buddy. Like, congrats on. Let me see here. 3,000 subscribers, man. Like, that's so freaking cool, dude. Congrats. Like,
That's awesome, man.
his
Congrats.
content, his content is just awesome, and it's well deserved, man. Really hardworking guy, and it's great to see like everybody in the community just like succeeding and just being cool people and making great content.
For sure, man. That's awesome.
But
All right, let's rate this bad boy.
ooh, Snowpiercer. Oh man.
We're, t-
Yeah,
we're
I
going
know.
back to Snowpiercer.
Yeah. So
Um,
dude, you go first. You go. I'm curious about because I know you said you love this movie. I mean, I feel like we're both probably gonna rate it about the same, but or you know what? Let's do it at the same time. On the count of three. You ready?
go ahead.
1, 2, 3. 3.5. 4.
4, man. Yeah, 4 out of 5 for me, man. I really like,
Damn.
dude. That monologue at the end got me. Just the whole thing that this director does. You know, like I said, I'm obsessed with Parasite. I love Parasite. This is number 2 for me is of his films, but I want to watch Memories of a Murder because I've heard a lot of good things about that one. So hopefully in the next week or so, I'm gonna check it out and I'll see where I rank it. But yeah, 4 out of 5, man. Really liked it. Really had a good time with it.
Dude, I'm so surprised because I mean, man, I agree with you. It's a fantastic film, but I'm surprised that you rated it 4 because I would have thought, and for some reason, like you would have rated because you don't rate things that high. You usually stay around the 2.5 to 3.5 range. But I would have figured you would have probably done like Parasite a 4, or maybe even
No,
pushing like 4.5, and then this
no
one would have been like,
Parasite. I mean, I don't think there's such thing as a perfect movie. I don't believe that,
yeah,
and there never will be. So I very rarely give a movie a 10 out of 10 on IMDb because I usually rate my movies on IMDb.
yeah,
Um, I'm more like the highest I usually give is like 8 or 9. You know, but there's a few 10 out of 10s, man. I don't know if Parasite hits it, but I know in the letterbox rating, Parasite's a 4.5 out of 5 for me for sure. Um, so yeah, I mean, this one's a 4 because it would be like a 8 out of 10 in IMDb. So that's pretty much what it is, man. I really enjoyed it. I
no,
had a lot of fun with it.
that's a great freaking rating, man. I mean, the only movie, I mean, I know there's a few out there, but because I'm the same, like I rarely ever rate something a 5. But I have to say that for me, something I would rate like a 5, and it's Before trilogy with
Yeah,
Ethan Hawke. I mean, like I love those the trilogy, and I love the story. I love how relatable it is, and that the movie, like, that's something for sure. Like, it's very rare for me too. Like, I almost rated this movie a 4, but it was
Yeah, but
just
I mean, let me rephrase it. I mean, I do think that there's 10 out of 10, 5 out of 5 movies out there for us, like individually. For you,
yeah,
like for someone, it might be American Pie or The Godfather, whatever it is. It doesn't matter the genre. So I do have rated movies 5 out of 5 or 10 out of 10 a good amount of times. I'm just saying, like, does the perfect movie really exist? Probably not, but they do in a way, right? It just depends on how much you love that movie. Some people like your friend that's seen the Mario Brothers '93 might give that one a 5 out of 5. He loves it that much. I mean, film is subjective, and yeah, dude, that Before trilogy is such good movies, man. I really enjoy those a lot.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, for me, like, there's certain movies that for sure we'll eventually talk about them, and then we'll give them the full rating.
Dude,
But yeah,
absolutely, man.
I'm
And
really excited. I got to see this again, man. I really had a good time with it.
oh, it was fantastic. I'm curious to see what the 4K looks like. But guys, if let us know in the comments if you've seen the Blu-ray by Anchor Bay, and you also own the 4K, and if it was that much of an upgrade. And also let us know your rating. Like, tell us in the comments what you rated Snowpiercer in your, I guess, either IMDb or Letterbox. Because I'm curious. I'm
Yeah.
curious to see what everybody else thinks. I know, and like you said, like, I mean, it's true. Like, art, movies, are everything's subjective. So I'm just curious to see everybody's like different view on it. I know personally, like, I have a strong feeling that this movie is going to age very well. And then you said that show that they did was running for 5 years. I had
Yeah,
no
I think it
idea.
ran 4 or 5 years, something like that. Yeah.
Dude, that's a long time. I had no idea it ran that long. I'm definitely gonna have to look into it and check it out. Because that would be interesting, especially if it's kind of like, because do you know if it's like kind of like a prequel type situation, or
You
it's
know, I don't know. I didn't read enough about it. I think they might be just telling the same story in a longer format, or maybe, yeah, they're obviously adding a lot to the lore of it. Maybe they're going more with with the French graphic novel that it's based on. But I'm
oh
not sure,
yeah.
man. I didn't really dig too deep into it because I figure, as much as I like this movie, I don't know if I'm gonna check out the show. But yeah, if you're interested in more of seeing a longer version of it, or more backstory, maybe they have that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's true. Like, I'll definitely let us know too, guys, in the comments if you've seen the show and if you even recommend it, if it's worth it. Because I know some shows they kind of just end abruptly and then you're just kind of stuck. So if it's worth it and it doesn't do that, then I would love to check it out. But I just don't want to get kind of teased and then I get into it and then it just kind of like the show based on the Stephen King book, not The Bubble,
The
but
Stand.
no, not The
Oh,
Stand.
Under the Dome. Under the Dome.
Under the Dome, yeah. Like, I would have loved to get into, because I remember I saw the first 2 episodes, but then I heard that after, I think, season 2, after that it got canceled. So that's why I ordered the book, by the way, man. I think I told you I used
Yeah,
that place. I'm still waiting for it. Hopefully it gets here soon. But yeah, I'm excited to read it and stuff and actually find out what happens, because I was
yeah. I
so
haven't I haven't read
excited.
it, man. I finished 11/22/63, like I told you, and then I'm already more than halfway through Project Hail Mary. So after that, maybe I'll
Yeah.
finally read Under the Dome. It's a long one, so it's a big commitment. I just At the
Yeah.
end of last year, I finally read The Stand, which is like friggin' 1,200 pages. So I'm trying to take a little break from the really long books. And 11/22/63 was like 800 and something. So I'm glad with Project Hail Mary. It's only like four something. I'm like, these books, I need a little break from the long ones.
Dude, I need you to watch 11/22/63 already, because I would love to do
Yeah.
a live talking about it. Especially like maybe unless that's a video you want to do on your own. Because I know
No,
you
no,
have the
no.
series and stuff.
With Cinema Whiplash, I want to stick with just talking about movies, like no shows and stuff.
Well, dude,
But
let's do it, because I want to definitely hear about like the comparison between the book and the show
yeah,
and everything, and just your opinion on it. I'm excited for you to watch it. I have it on Blu-ray. I ordered it on eBay for, I think, 12 or 14 bucks or something like that. I got it for really cheap, brand new. But I absolutely love that series. Or I mean, I guess the mini series or whatever. But
limited series, whatever. But
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
man.
yeah, it's on my list to do. I have to watch it, and I think for sure sometime next month I'll go through the whole thing, and then maybe by the end of next month we can talk about it or something like that.
Yeah,
Why
I'm
not?
excited,
Yeah,
dude.
sounds good,
Well,
man. You know I'm always down to talk about Stephen King stuff. So
oh, I know, man. I love it, man. I love that, especially your vast knowledge on it. Because I know, I mean, I love Stephen King. I grew up on him too, but there's so much more stuff that you know about him than I do. And your recommendations are always spot on with anything Stephen King. I mean, for the most part, anything, dude, that you've recommended for me. I've yet, like, unlike I did to you with the Banshee chapter, I let you down with that one. Even though I
no,
personally, I love it, but
no, not at all, man. That's the thing about me, man. I'm always open to watch movies I haven't seen, and to discover movies from other people that they've been watching almost their whole life and I've never seen or heard of. Now, I'm still really actually glad I saw that movie because you know, you were such a big fan of it and stuff. I
yeah,
didn't grab me the way it grabbed you, but I still appreciate it, and you know, I'm glad you like it a lot, man. It's an interesting movie.
yeah, dude,
And it's
absolutely. I
nice and
highly
short,
recommend it.
so if you're not liking it too much, at least it goes
Yeah.
by pretty quick, you know. So
Yeah, that's a good thing. It's not one of those like, oh, I got to sit 2 hours. It's pretty quick. It
oh
gets through
yeah, it's
pretty
like
quick, and
an hour 25 or something without the credits. Super
yeah.
super short.
But dude, I mean, is there? Do you want to talk about anything else, or are you good for the live?
I
Or
I think I don't know. I mean I'm good if you are. I think for the next one maybe we'll see what we do next. We're definitely gonna try to make a one of these live ones next month. And then you know you and I are talking about trying to get the like a horror podcast off the ground soon too.
yeah, guys, if you, I mean, if you've been watching Face the Movies from the beginning, Lee and I were doing the channel originally, and we had our podcast where, I mean, for the most part, it wasn't anything different. We were just getting the audio from our videos and turning it to podcast form for people to enjoy. Because I know sometimes our videos will get a little long, and you know, you're driving or working out or anything you can enjoy. But what we're doing is we're actually resurrecting our podcast. But this time it's just going to be like, we still have our individual channels, but then the podcast, it's just going to be us. And I mean, we're definitely going to talk about horror and stuff like that, but I mean, I'm sure we'll be able to squeeze other stuff in too, like genres and stuff. But we're planning on getting that recorded soon. And we talked about when you get back from vacation, right? It's when we'll start recording like the episodes and stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean I have time to do one next week if you have time, but if not, because I know you're gonna have company and all that stuff. So maybe when I get back from the trip in early April, we can do that first one of the podcast and then work and then we can do one of these at the you know later on a few weeks later. However you want to do it, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm always down to film or to do the podcast. So yeah,
Oh,
I'm excited. I'm
absolutely.
looking forward to it. And I
Yeah,
love
man.
talking horror and I had a blast doing the couple horror episodes we did, the Dawn of the Dead and Brain Scan. If you haven't seen them, check them out. And uh and I look forward to introducing you to a few more. I know these guys you talk with, a lot of them know a lot about giallos and stuff like that too. So maybe we'll watch a giallo soon and we'll talk about how your experience with it, man. Because I want to see how you feel about them.
Dude, I'm excited, man. Like, you're gonna pop my Giallo cherry, man. Like,
No, don't say
I've yet,
that.
I've yet to, I'm gonna get banned from YouTube now. No, yeah, man. I'm excited to do the same thing, man. I'm excited to do the podcast and stuff, and just talk about these horror movies. And even though like our brain scan video was so good, like I mean, maybe in the future we could kind of revisit it sometime and do like a
Oh
podcast
man,
episode. But I mean, the
yeah,
video was
no,
just so good. Like,
that one was fun, man. We had a blast because we both had that mutual love for a movie that nobody talks about. Nobody
yeah,
really, you know, there's like three people have seen it, and such a fun movie, such a '90s. You know, it captures the '90s so well that I love
love
it,
that
man.
movie.
But that was fun, dude. We had fun talking
Yeah.
about that one. So yeah, hopefully we'll find some good ones like that that we both enjoy a lot, and then you could introduce me to one like you did last time, and vice versa, and it'll be fun, man.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. And dude, it was a blast hanging out once again. Like, dude, I know we just had a live like a few days ago, but dude,
For
love it,
sure,
man.
man.
I hope everybody enjoyed it. Make sure to follow Lee at Cinema Whiplash, and make sure to subscribe to Face the Movies. And yeah, thanks guys so much for support, for joining us.
Yes,
And
thanks for joining us for the comments. Always appreciate the comments so we could talk about different things too, and it adds to it. So it's a lot of fun, man. Thank you all for joining, whoever did, and then for commenting, and we'll do it again soon.
Hell yeah, guys. Well, stay tuned and we'll see you on the next one. You guys have a good night. If you're watching this, oh, wait, hold on. We got one comment here. We have two. We have Jeff. A great night, fellas. Dude, thank you so much for joining us, brother.
Yes, thank you, appreciate it.
We always enjoy having you, man. Keith, thank you so much, dude. He says, peace, dudes. It was fun watching you guys. Appreciate it, brother. Hopefully one of these days we could have you guys as guests too, man. That'd be freaking awesome, to join us in one of the videos and stuff. So
yeah, for sure, man. We'll have I can see some of these guys like American Pie, but we'll do American Pie roundtable. But they're already working on some American Pie stuff on their own end, so I don't want to overload them with that stuff. But maybe in a year or something.
Dude, we got to celebrate the next anniversary. Yeah, we'll do a whole round table.
Yeah, I mean the first one just celebrated in the 25th anniversary last year, I believe. Yeah. So, but yeah, we'll come up with something.
Absolutely. Well, guys, stay tuned, and see you in the next one, guys.
See you next time, guys.